Hello friends, I'm Samir and I welcome you all to your own YouTube channel Aryabhatta Classes. Friends, today in this video we'll continue from that we left in our last video of categorical syllogism. In our last video of categorical syllogism, we discussed that one syllogism is an mediate inference which contains only two premises and one conclusion. I told you that in the last video among the two premises, the first premise is called major premise, the second premise is called minor premise, and the last proposition is called the conclusions. From the conclusion propositions, the subject part is called minor term, the predicate part of the conclusion is called major term, and the term which is common in both the major and minor premises is called middle term. Symbolically, they are represented as S, P and M. Now, if you write the categorical syllogism in terms of the symbols M, P and S, then the whole argument will be or will look like in this form. That is, all M is P, all S is M, and at the end the conclusion is therefore all S is P, all S is P. And there in that video we also discussed that this form, this structure or this form is called the form of the argument or structure of the argument. Now, the form of the syllogism is the symbolic representation of the argument. Now, what do you mean by the form of the syllogism? It is a symbolic representation of the whole argument. This argument, if I am representing in terms of symbols, then it is called form of syllogisms. Now, a valid syllogism is formally valid argument. A valid syllogism is a formally valid argument. Now, when one syllogism is called valid, if it is formally valid argument. What do you mean by formally valid argument? If this argument is valid in terms of form, then it is called formally valid argument. Okay. So, the validity or the invalidity of an argument is dependent on its form and not on the content of the syllogisms. That means, if any syllogism is of this form and if this is a valid argument, then that syllogism will also become valid. And if it is an invalid argument, then any argument of this structure or form will become invalid in terms of or independent of the values or the names we are putting in place of M, P or S. Let's take that example. You see this structure, this is obtained from the above examples. Here the M represents man, P represents mortal and S represents Ram. Okay. So, let us change this M, P and S by another nouns. Say now M represents mammal, P represents longs and S represents rabbits. Okay. I am replacing man, mortal and Ram in that place I am writing mammals, longs and rabbits. Now, the same structure, after changing the meanings of M, P and S, it becomes all mammals have longs, all rabbits are mammals and therefore all rabbits have longs. Now, this new argument or syllogism is also a valid argument or valid syllogism because it is obtained from the by putting different values into the valid structure or form of the syllogism. So, one syllogism is valid or invalid, it only depends on the structure of it. If the structure is a valid one, then the argument is also valid. If the structure is not valid, then the argument is also become invalid. It has nothing to do that what are the nouns or names or values I am putting in place of M, P or S here. So, we can say that a syllogism is valid by its valid form only. Okay friends, now let's move to another part of categorical syllogism, that is structure, the structure of or the figure of the categorical syllogisms. Okay friends, the figure of categorical syllogisms, that means if we will draw or if we represent the argument or syllogism in terms of graphs, then what different type of figure it will represents. Now, the figure of a syllogism is determined by the position of the middle term in the premises. So, I told you that a syllogism contains two premises, one major premise, another minor premise, and there is something common between the two premises, that is the middle term. Okay. So, the figure of a syllogism is determined by the position of the middle term in both the premises. So, in this way, because middle term is the connection or the bond between the two premises as we discussed earlier. So, there are four different possibilities. What are the possibilities? That the middle term may occur as number 1, subject in the major premise and predicate in the minor premise. The middle term may behave as the subject in the major premise and predicate in the minor premise, or the predicate of the middle term may occur as the predicate of both the premises. You see, the middle term behave as the predicate in both the premises. Then the third case is the middle term may occur as the subject in both the premises. The middle term may occur as the subject in both the premises. And the fourth is that the predicate in the major premise and the subject in the minor premise. Okay. It may behave as the predicate in the major premise and subject in the minor premise. So, these four possible ways we can represent the figure of syllogism, where as we know the middle term is the connecting point between the two premises. So, we will join them by straight lines, we will join the middle terms by straight lines, and these horizontal lines, they represents the bond between the subject and predicate part of the major premise and minor premise in all cases. And at last there is one conclusion which says that subject is related to the predicate in the conclusion part. Now, the different possible positions of the middle term in a syllogistic argument constitute the below the first, second, third and fourth figures of syllogisms. You can see this figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, figure 4. This all are called the four different figures of syllogisms. Now, you can see the first figure 1 here, it is looking like a reverse Z structure or reverse Z shape. Now, the figure 1s here, the arguments are like this: all M is P, all S is M, and therefore the conclusion is all S is P. Okay, we can take one example of this type: all men are mortal, all politicians are men, therefore all politicians are mortal. Okay friends. Now come to the second one, the second type. The second type propositions says that, you can see this figure 2 represents the second figure of categorical syllogism. It is in the shape of horseshoe magnet shape. This in the shape of horseshoe magnet shape. Now let us discuss one or two examples on this. Figure 2, the structure says that no P is M, all S is M, therefore no S is P. Okay, this is the structure of this figure 2 syllogism. Now one example of this type is, no crows are quadruped, all cows are quadruped, therefore no cows are crows. Okay friends, now come to our figure 3. Figure 3 is the reverse figure of 2. If you will make the reverse of this figure 2, you will get figure 3. Okay, just the reverse or in mirror image of figure 2 is figure 3. Now what it says, how it looks like? The structure of figure 3 says that, and it is all M is P, all M is S, therefore all S, or sorry, some S is P. Okay, one example of this type, all men are thinkers, all men are vertebrates, therefore some vertebrates are thinkers. Okay friends, now let us discuss the last figure, that is figure 4. Now what the figure 4 looks like? It looks like the Z shape, the letter Z, it looks like that. Okay, now the structure of this figure 4 is, all P is M, no M is S, therefore no S is P. Okay, and one example of this type is, all parrots are biped animals, no biped animals is a dog, therefore no dog is a parrot. This is just one example of figure 4. So in this way, if we draw the horizontal and cross diagonals of the whole syllogisms or categorical syllogisms, then the possibility is there that it can be or will get only 4 different type of figures, which are like figure 1, figure 2, figure 3 and figure 4 respectively. And looking this, we can remember it for a long time, and we can also come to know about the connection between the middle terms here, because by connecting the middle terms in both the premises, we are getting these structures or these figures, which will help you to understand the logical process of a categorical syllogisms. So I hope you understand little bit in this part. The more we will discuss in our forthcoming videos. So thank you very much for watching this.